Hey guys, I know my intros are awful and there's really no like cool, catchy, grabby, stay watching this video, but I promise you this is a video. If you've never done a lift kit or are looking into getting a lift kit, this is the video you need to watch. I'm not selling you anything, I'm just telling you cold, hard facts. So please stay with it, watch the video, and without further ado, let's get into it. So one of the first things you need to know before even purchasing a lift is looking at the legal regulations that affect your state, your county, your country, your whatever you live in, if you're United States, if you're Britain, if you're Australia, because certain things are not allowed or have to be tested or inspected before you can put them on the road. And there's no good way of me showing you what to look at. You just need to type in Google, do some searches, and realize that just because it's okay in a certain part of your country or state doesn't mean it's going to be necessarily okay exactly where you live. And you also need to know if you're going to be building your rig in this state or country or whatever, and you're going to take it to another one to do some wheeling in, you need to look at where you're going to be at. Because I promise you, you saying, well, it's legal in my state or it's legal in my country, they're not going to care. The government is out to make money, and they're going to write you a ticket, and they're going to try to tow your vehicle, or even worse, impound it, whatever. Just know what the legal regulations are in the state you're living and the state and country that you're going to be wheeling. So, god dang it, I'm trying to do a video and these freaking things are falling out. So, ignore this, I'm sorry. I should be more professional. So, a lot of lift kits, I really say a lot, but really all of them come with what you need to make the lift kit work and fit and the geometry to all be okay. But what they don't come with, which is actually pretty crucial, is extended brake lines, extended ABS wiring, and depending on the vehicle, maybe a longer drive shaft. And I'm not expecting manufacturers to start including these things, but nobody really talks about these things. Now, with Jebel's lift, on the road, completely fine. Could drive this for another 100,000 miles and never have to worry about any of those three things. But when I want to get full articulation out of this, the brake lines and the ABS wiring are pretty pulled tight, and they're on the verge of breaking. So in future videos, I will be showing you how to install extended brake lines and how to extend your ABS wiring. But I didn't learn that until I was actually putting this vehicle through the rigorous testing to make sure that it was fine and the lift was working and nothing was going to break in a kind of a controlled, closer to the house testing area, I guess you would say. But I did find out that when I went to essentially get full articulation, especially on the rear, the brake line was on the verge of snapping. And I'll tell you what, you don't want no brakes. You know that. We all know that. So make sure you look into that. If you're hiring somebody to do the lift kit for you and they picked out the kit, you don't really have to worry about this next one. It might make things more expensive compared to another lift, but really the larger the lift, the more difficult it is to install it, and it's going to be more time consuming. This lift is a very conservative 2-inch lift, and I'll tell you what, going from the 2 to 3-inch lift, the amount of components and time and fabricating that I would have to do in order to make it fit, it's not so much plug and play as I would want it to be. So realize what your skill level is and what you really know about these things before you start slapping on a 4-inch lift, because I'll tell you what, there's nothing more frustrating than being halfway through a project and realizing that you don't have half the knowledge or half the materials or half the ability to even do the lift. So watch out for that. Now, I'm waiting to do this when I put new wheels and tires on Jebel, but depending on the lift and depending on if it's independent front suspension or axle, or there's a bunch of different things to be considered, you might need to get an alignment, or you're going to start chewing through tires, or it's going to start tracking real weird as you drive down the road. Just know that you're going to have to get an alignment. And, you know, for me, my lift was not so aggressive that I can't drive Jebel, but I'm eventually going to start chewing through some tires. And like I said, once I get new tires and rims, I'll have them while they're already up on the lift doing all that to actually do the alignment. But just because you got new suspension parts and you think they're exactly where they should be, they probably aren't. Man, that is a very loud bird, and I wish it would leave so I can do my video. And that kind of left. Anyway, sorry about all that noise. But yeah, alignments. Make sure that you get one after you get it installed. This is kind of like a no-brainer. Of course, when you lift your vehicle, it's going to be taller, but you don't really realize how tall it's going to actually be. I mean, yeah, of course, 4-inch lift, I'm going to get 4 inches. But have you measured your garage? If you put your vehicle in a garage and seen how much clearance that vehicle has before the lift? Because I'll tell you now, not that I parked Jebel in our garage. You've seen my garage. It's a complete disaster. But if I wanted to in the future, I can't put Jebel in the garage, even with the stock tires, because that 2 inches is now, my garage is now too short because of the roof rack. And that's another thing. If you are adjusting your height, you really need to make sure whatever you got are going to put on top, you need to measure that with the lift and the stuff on top, because things that you used to clear, you're probably not going to clear anymore. So just pay attention to that. And guys, the final thing, which is kind of funny to me because it probably affects 99% of people who get lifts and they don't realize what they did until it's too late, is you are now blinding everybody. You got to realize that now that your vehicle sits higher, headlights are higher, and now you're beaming those lights directly into people's faces. If I have blinded you, which you're probably not watching this video, but the people I have blinded, I'm sorry. I'm not a jerk. I'm just lazy and kind of want to do a video about it anyway, and which I will show you guys how to adjust your headlights and what to know when adjusting headlights and the whole process of it. I'm not going to go into detail. That's going to be a whole video, so we'll talk about that when I do the video. But realize when you get a lift, you are now going to be blinding people. It doesn't matter if you have LEDs. It doesn't matter if you have conventional lights. You're going to be blinding people. So adjust your headlights. With that being said, guys, that's the end of this video. As of this video getting posted, I have 30 subscribers, and I want to thank you guys. I'm ecstatic. I never thought I'd ever think 30 people would be interested in seeing me or even paying attention to me. So I want to thank you guys, both the subscribers and non-subscribers. Views, comments, all of it helps. And I want to grow this channel. I want to teach the world that doing this might be time consuming. It might take you a long time. I mean, it's taken me a long time. We've had Jebel for 2 years now, and you know, we're just now putting a lift kit on them. And you know, all of this is realistic growth. Be realistic with you guys. Set realistic goals. Have fun through the whole journey. And remember, you don't have to have all this crazy stuff. You can get a normal truck, a normal SUV, and you can take it on some trails. But all that being said, that's it in today's video. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you on the next one.